Howdy friends, this is your state representative, Tom Dent. As your trusted friend and neighbor, I am focused on what counts, you, my friends. As a husband and parent, I push for a stronger education and mental health system. As a rancher and pilot, I want to help put a sturdy frame on all our natural resources. I sit on committees for many different topics for a better future for all of us. I am asking for your continued support. Please vote for me, Tom Dent, to continue serving as your state representative. This is Tom Dent, and I approve this message.
After weeks of eager anticipation, the wait was finally over for 2018's biggest high school football game of the season in north central Washington between the Wenatchee Panthers and the Eastmont Wildcats at the Apple Bowl on Thursday night. This year's annual Bridge of Sportsmanship contest had more than longitudinal bragging rights for 47.4 degrees north at stake. It also had a link to the Big Nine championship hanging in its balance. A victory for Eastmont would clinch an outright league title for the Wildcats, while a win for Wenatchee would force an all-or-nothing Kansas City rematch involving both teams once again on Saturday.
That is a head. So you've won the toss. Defer the second half. Defer? Okay. Wenatchee won the toss and have elected to defer.
After the tension had crackled to a crescendo off the opening tee, the Panthers might have regretted their choice to defer the ball to Eastmont to open the first half, as they got flagged for an encroachment penalty on the first down of the game and were promptly burned by the Cats on the very next play from scrimmage. Junior Carson Everhart's 63-yard touchdown pass to senior Kalen Massey gave Eastmont a quick jump on the scoreboard by putting them up 7-0 only 20 seconds into the contest. Later on in the first quarter, the Wildcats built a span to the goal line once again by using a pass interference call in the end zone against Wenatchee on a third down to set up a 1-yard scoring plunge by junior Carson Talley, giving them a 14-0 lead just over 9 minutes after the opening gun. Throughout the game's first 18 minutes, Eastmont's defense proved to be its usual ferocious self by stymieing Wenatchee at every turn. But just when it appeared the Panthers were about to fully implode due to a high snap that traveled over punter Ferris Nasser's head, his hasty improvisation to somehow get the ball away before the Cats could pounce put Eastmont in poor field position and led to Wenatchee's first big break of the game when the Panther defense interrupted a reverse attempt in the backfield and senior Derek Graham grabbed the loose pigskin, setting up a gangplank for the Panther offense inside the red zone. And 3 plays later, Wenatchee used it to march straight across the goal line on a 1-yard keel by sophomore quarterback Camden Sermon to cut the Wildcat lead in half at 14-7 going into the halftime locker room. When play resumed, both defenses came out mighty tough to begin the second half, as neither the Panthers nor the Cats were giving up much on the ground or through the air over the artificial turf at Lee Bofto Field. With Eastmont still in front by 7 late in the third quarter, Wenatchee finally began to chip away at the Wildcats' steel facade on defense and manufactured a scoring arch that included a pair of critical fourth and short conversions and took advantage of a taunting penalty as well to establish another 1-yard dip by Sermon, which put the Panthers only an extra point away from tying things up for the first time since the game's outset. But Wenatchee's PAT was no good and left the Wildcats clinging to a 1-point advantage with only 13 seconds elapsed in the final quarter. On the ensuing possession, Eastmont seemed to finally be on the move themselves, but once again the Panthers' defense foiled the Cats' drive on an interception by senior cornerback Dalton Thomas. However, the Wildcats' own D buckled down afterwards to force a 4-and-out and take the ball right back on offense before giving it back to Wenatchee yet again just 2 plays later off a fumble by Talley, which was recovered by junior Jackson Bowles and returned into Eastmont territory. With the Panthers again in control of the ball thanks to a turnover, the Wildcats' defense refused to surrender an ounce of momentum once more and forced Wenatchee into a 37-yard field goal try with less than 3 minutes to go in regulation. But Ferris Nasser's attempt at giving the Panthers their first lead of the game was wide left and gave the ball back to Eastmont, who swiftly made Wenatchee spend their remaining 2 timeouts before sealing the deal with a huge conversion on 3rd and 6 from their own 40-yard line, leaving the Cats with nothing more to design than a kneel down in celebration of being crowned Big Nine champions.
So I hated it. I hate it. Turn up the scoreboard.
Hey guys, helmets off. Trophy's cool, but I can't wait till the one that's coming. It feels fantastic. It's been 4 years in the making. This is a resilient group of kids, tough group of seniors, a lot of young guys playing big time, and we made plays when we had to. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't our best football game. That's a good football team. We just came out on top tonight.
These kids have worked hard for 2 years in the weight room, 3 years. Mike has them going year round thinking about what to do, and it's so great to see their hard work pay off. They've been perseverant all year long. And I can't say enough about the coaching staff, can't say enough about the senior leaders and the culture that they've created here, the parents, the booster clubs, the community, the school, the administration. It's been a big team win for everybody this year.
Eastmont's victory not only cinched a district title for the Wildcats, but also gave them a perfect 6-0 league record to finish the season, in addition to a 9-1 mark overall for 2018. It also left their Big Nine pursuers in both the Panthers and the Sunnyside Grizzlies wondering what might have been, while the Cats wait for Sunday's WIAA seeding committee to select who and where they will be playing in the first round of the state playoffs. Reporting for iFiber One Sports, I'm Chris Hansen.